Hello, everyone. As you may or may not know, I write a series of middle grade books entitled A Kid's Court Whodunit. It's about a group of kids who start a court and solve mysteries. And today I thought I would read a quick excerpt from the first book in the series, The Doll Dilemma. And in this story, Luana, the main character, gets the idea to start the court to help resolve a conflict between two of her friends. So let's get started. Chapter 1, A Great Idea. That's not fair! Luana Porcello's eyes flew to the Corbett's front door to see Jenny Corbett storming out with her twin brother Jimmy hurrying behind her. I tell you, Jen, I didn't do it, he said. And I say you did, Jenny shot back as she ran across their small, picturesque yard with its lush lawn and colorful flower beds. Jimmy stared after his sister in dismay before trudging toward the sidewalk where Luana stood. His shoulders slumped as he walked, and he stared down at his feet, kicking mildly at the ground. The noonday sunlight glinted gold in his light brown hair. He was short and skinny and wore thick-rimmed glasses that enlarged his pale blue eyes to the size of saucers. Something of a junior scientist, Jimmy invariably had an air of distraction about him as he pondered one invention or another. Hey, Jimmy, what's up? Luana watched him with solemn amber eyes. His head snapped up. Oh, hi, Luana. I didn't see you standing there. His mouth drooped. Someone ripped Rebecca's head off, and it's missing. Jenny thinks I did it, but I didn't. She's angry because Mom and Dad believe me and refuse to make me pay for it. Rebecca was Jenny's prized glamour girl doll and constant companion. Oh, that's terrible, Luana exclaimed. She knew how much Jenny loved her doll. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. Jimmy released a heavy sigh and ran a hand over his face. Just then, Jenny stomped up. She was like her twin in appearance, minus the glasses, but in temperament, the two were as different as chalk and cheese, because while Jimmy was quiet and studious, Jenny had a bubbly, outgoing personality, and no one would ever accuse her of being bookish. What are you doing, Jimmy? Confessing your crime to Luana? She taunted. I told you, Jimmy fumed. I had nothing to do with destroying Rebecca. You're lying. Why are you so determined to believe I broke your doll? Maybe it's because you're always breaking my toys, testing your stupid inventions, said Jenny. I admit I've broken some of your toys during my experiments, but that's all in the past. I promised Mom and Dad I wouldn't do that anymore, and I haven't. Besides, I know how much you love Rebecca. I would never hurt her. Jenny stuck her nose in the air, folded her arms, and turned her back to her brother. I don't believe you. Jimmy sighed. I wish there was some way to prove I didn't hurt your doll. And I wish there was a way to prove you did. Then Mom and Dad would make you pay for Rebecca. Luana stared wide-eyed at the siblings, wringing her hands as she listened to them argue. She was a sweet-natured girl who hated seeing anyone unhappy, especially her friends. And in all the years Luana had known them, she had never seen the twins fight like this. Ordinarily, they were like two peas in a pod. As they continued quarreling, a sudden idea came to her. Stop fighting, you two. I just thought of a way you can find out what happened to Jenny's doll. Jenny and Jimmy turned to stare at her, forgetting their argument for the moment. What are you thinking, Luana? Asked Jimmy. Jenny narrowed her eyes. Yes, Luana, what are you thinking? And why should I trust you? Whatever scheme you have up your sleeve, I'm sure it's for Jimmy's benefit, not mine. You probably believe him and want to prove he's innocent. What I believe won't matter, said Luana, because my idea is this. We take your case to court. Her amber eyes sparkled. Court? The twins exclaimed. How would we do that? Jimmy's forehead puckered. Yeah, said Jenny. What court is going to listen to our case? Luana beamed. A kid's court. A court by kids, for kids. The siblings gaped at her. We can have a judge, lawyers, a bailiff, everything just like a real court. Her face flushed with excitement. It will be great. I'm not sure. Jimmy massaged the back of his neck. Well, my dad says the best way to find the truth is to go to court, said Luana. The twins looked impressed. All the neighborhood children knew Luana's father was a successful lawyer with the Oakdale District Attorney's Office, working to put bad guys in jail. So if he said going to court was the best way to find the truth, that was good enough for them. Okay, said Jenny, I'm in. Me too, Jimmy nodded. What do we need to do? We'll need a few people for my plan to work, said Luana. Let's get some other kids who want to take part and meet at the fort after lunch. Okay? Okay, said the twins.